Hey guys, this is Minoan, and I'm really excited to show you this roaming build that I just found out about, and it's pretty effective, and I figured this is a really great time to share it given the fact that the World versus World rush is going on right now. So I'll just get right into it. For the gear, you're going to go full Celestial, and you're going to go with Superior Rune of Balthazar. Your actual weapons that you're going to be using are going to be Scepter and Dagger, with Frailty and Cleansing Runes. The Cleansing Rune will trigger every time that you change attunements. It's basically how you Condi clear in the build. Um, for your offhand, it doesn't really matter what you're using as much. Just make sure that you have a Superior Sigil of Stars, and you'll activate this weapon when you're not PvPing. You'll build up stacks when you're killing guards or something like that. Trinkets, same deal. You're going to go full Celestial. And then for your relic, you're going to go do Relic of the Demon Queen. This is going to help you stop other players from healing up when you're fighting them. And I'll share some footage of me taking out some players 1v1 after this. And what's funny is that I actually kind of messed up the build a little bit. Like, it wasn't full power because I messed up the runes and the relic a little bit. So it's actually even more effective than I'm going to show you. So yeah. Then for your traits, you're gonna take you're gonna take Earth, you're gonna take Serrated Stones, and Rock Solid. This will be one source of stab for you, and you're going to take Stone Heart. An important note is every time you go to Earth, you're going to get some barrier and some stab. That's going to be very important when I explain the rest of the build later. And then in the next trait line, we're going to take Arcane, and we're going to do Arcane Prowess, Arcane Restoration. This is one of your forms of healing outside your main heal skill. Elemental Lockdown. What's interesting about this is that you're going to trigger these boons every time you use your Toad. And then your Grandmaster trait, Bountiful Power, is going to be where you get most of your offensive boons from, and it's basically a reward for swapping attunements. This is going to have strong synergy with your Evoker trait line, because your Evoker trait line is going to reduce the recharge of your attunement. We're going to attune to Earth/Toad for this. Toad gives you Barrier. You get Barrier for swapping into Earth. It's super, super, super tanky. And then the Evoker trait line, you're going to take Altruistic Aspect. The important part of that is you're going to get Stab from your Toad's Fortitude. Elemental Dynamo is going to give you 1 charge every time you swap to Earth, and that's going to give you more boons from Elemental Attunement. And then you're going to take the Grandmaster trait, Electric Enchantment. That's basically going to apply more burning to your attacks every time you use your familiar. So a food that I would use for this, it's kind of a weird one, is Golden Dumpling. It doesn't have you don't have a ton of might on the build, and I feel like this is a great way to get a little bit of extra might, and it will help your boons stick on you a little bit longer with the extra concentration. If you happen to have Ascended Food Crafting, a good option might be Strawberry Cilantro Cheesecake. That will give you might on crit as well as life on hit, Siphon Stealing, as well as the 100 concentration. You know, a little bit more survivability, more boons overall. I think it would synergize really well with this build. And for enhancement, I recommend using the Tuning Icicle because it will give you extra condition damage. If you happen to have it, or it's not too terrible for you to swing, any of the enhancements that are +3 to all attributes are really great because this build uses Celestial, but they're very expensive, and I'm pretty sure Tuning Icicle is almost as good because it just gives you a lot of extra damage. So basically what you're trying to do when you play this build is you're trying to swap in to Earth Attunement as often as possible when you are at under 4 charges or at 5 charges. The reason why you don't want to swap into Earth at 4 charges is you'll basically waste a charge up here on your Toad, because every time you cast an Earth spell, you'll get 2 charges on your familiar. And so basically, if you have 5 charges swap into Earth, you immediately use Calcify. If you are under 4 charges, you're going to cast at least 1 Earth spell, maybe cast Calcify, and then swap back into something else. Because the Arcane trait line rewards you a lot for swapping attunements, and the Earth swap line rewards you a lot for swapping into Earth, you're basically pivoting around Earth Attunement while charging up your Calcify and using that as much as possible. Your elite skill here, Elemental Procession, is really, really strong. You'll get all your familiars will attack at once. It's a lot of damage and some CC and a little bit of healing. It's really good. And it's kind of a way to catch them off guard. You basically just focus on stun locking people and not dying. If you are swapping into Earth frequently and you're casting Calcify, you're going to have a lot of barrier. Swapping into Earth will give you 1800, casting Calcify gives you 1500. That's a lot of endurance. You also have some interesting combos here. You can cast Toad's Fortitude or Armor of Earth before you cast Ether Renewal, and those will basically lock you into being able to spam your heal skill and not get it interrupted. And then Lightning Flash is great for chasing people down or disengaging, whichever one you need. The variant of this that I got from the Metabattle site uses Dagger Dagger. I think that Scepter is stronger because of Rock Barrier. Rock Barrier makes you even tankier, and it's on a relatively low cooldown. If you decide to go to Dagger, you're going to have 2 extra gap closers in Fire and Earth, and then you're going to have 1 extra stun on your Lightning 3. That's kind of the difference between them, the big difference between them. The other thing about Dagger as your main hand is that it will reward you for being in close range, because at least when you're in Fire Attunement, you fire 3 missiles that spread out, so when you're close, all 3 of them hit the target. So it's a bit of a preference thing. Dagger will let you play more aggressively. You won't be as tanky. Scepter lets you be a lot more tanky and a little bit more ranged. I prefer Scepter. I swapped to Scepter because it's what I had, and I was very impressed with the result. And I'll go ahead and show you some footage.
Compromised.
Safe from harm.
Ready for more. I feel furious. Still
I don't have enough energy.
I feel furious.
Come here.
I am playing.
I can't go on for long.
Nothing can shake us.
Swift and steady.
I feel furious. Might and glory.
Sharp blades, sharp minds.
I'm bleak and new.
Ready for more. I feel furious. Then be your patient. Then be your patient. ancient resolve. Might.
Had enough? Safe from harm.